In this video, I'll show you how to create a simple budget tracker in Google Sheets to monitor your expenses and income. This tool is perfect for young adults or anyone who wants to manage their finances better. Don't worry if you're new to spreadsheets. You don't need any prior experience with Google Sheets or Excel. I'll guide you through the process in just 5 minutes. You can follow along using Excel too, since both programs work similarly. If you find the video helpful, hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel. So, let's get into it. To open Google Sheets, go to your browser and type sheets.new. I'll name this 2025 Budget Tracker. Then I will also enter 2025 Budget Tracker here. Then I will come to the beginning of the text, and then on my keyboard, I will hold down the Windows key and dot. That will bring up this menu where I can enter an emoji. I will just search for a money sign and then pick one. To make it look professional, I'll highlight the title and make it bigger and bold. Next, I'll type the month that I'm going to be doing this, which will be January. Again, make it bold and bigger because these two are like the heading of our Google Sheet. You can always duplicate the sheet. So if you want to make it for February, March, April, whatever, you can always have different sheets here. So you can rename this to whatever month you are doing this for. Next up, I will type in the income here, and then expenses here. Next, I will select this column and then color code this green. And I will also select this column and then color code it red to indicate money in and out. Also, I will select these columns and color them to a lighter green, and these columns to a lighter red. I'll just come to the right-hand side here and type in total income and total expenses so we can see the total amount in and out. Since we're working with money, let's format these columns as currency. Select the column and click the $ to format it as currency. If you need a different currency, just go to Format, Numbers, Custom Currency, and choose your preferred option, for example, Euro. And now when I enter a number, it will format it in Euro. So you can use your local currency, maybe Naira, rupees, and so on. I'm just going to change this back to dollars. I will do the same for this column. So when I enter an amount, it's formatted into dollars. In this third column, I'm going to create a drop-down. I'm going to start categorizing what kind of expenses. So I will click on Insert and then select Drop-down. So right here, we will start categorizing what kind of expenses we're spending. This way, we can categorize our spending. You can be very specific with your spending, but I will just go with the general way of doing this, which is the 50-30-20 rule. I will go with needs, wants, and savings. Then I will color code them for easier reading. For needs, I will go with blue, wants, maybe pink, and savings yellow. Then click on Done. I will click on the first and then drag this plus sign down so that the drop-down applies to all. So we can start entering our expenses. For example, electricity may cost $200. This is a necessity, so I will categorize its needs, and then we can enter some other expenses and then categorize them. Next, I want to do a total income, so I will do a sum right here. So type equals sum and select it. All of our income is in column B. So I will select that and click Enter. That will do the sum of all of our income. So if I start entering other values from other sources of income, it will start adding them up. Maybe $1,500 is your paycheck, and then you earn $50 from a side hustle. So here we have the total. I'm going to do the same for expenses. So type equals sum, click on it, and then select column D, Y, because we are entering all of our expenses in column D. That will add up all of our expenses. I'm just going to make the total income green and expenses red. Now I want to enter my spending goals. As I mentioned earlier, I will go with the general money rule. So I'm setting spending goals for needs, wants, and savings. I highlight these three cells and then format them to percent. So I want to go with the 50-30-20 rule. 50% on needs, 30% on wants, and 20% on savings. You could have as many goals and as many categories as you want. These are the ones I'm doing right now. Right here, I want to see the monetary value of my set goals, so I can know the exact amount I don't want to go above when spending my money. So I'm just going to do some formulas. I will enter the equals sign, then I will select my total income and multiply by, select 50%. And we have the amount. I'm going to do this for the rest. Again, SARS sign, select the total income multiplied by 30%. And lastly, for savings multiplied by 20%. So I can see the amount I want to spend on needs, wants, and savings depending on my income for that month. Next, I will do actual. So I can see the actual amount I'm spending based on these categories: needs, wants, and savings. I'm going to enter SUMIF formula. So we want to select the category we put in all of the categories, which is column E. If column E is needs, do what? What do we want it to sum? So column D, then click enter. I will just format this to currency. So what that does is sum up all of our expenses that are needs. If I start categorizing all of these expenses into needs, it will start adding them together and give us a total of all of the money spent on needs. I will do the same for wants. I'm just going to copy it and then paste it here. Now, I will change the needs to wants. And I will also do the same for savings. So, I will change the needs here to savings. So, when we start adding expenses in these categories, the system adds them up and gives us a total. Next up, I want to have a percentage of the amount we are spending on different categories. So I will enter a formula, type equals. So we want to get the percentage of money spent on needs. So I will select needs, and then divide it by the total income. I will format these cells in percentages, and I will do the same for the rest. Select the wants divided by total income. Again equals savings divide by total income. And now, we have the percentage of the amount. Now I will just make some adjustments to make this look nice. I will make this column larger and this column as well. Then I will select all of these columns and color code them. Maybe yellow will be better. And you can just make some minor adjustments to make it look good. Maybe make these texts bold. Then I will merge these columns and put these texts in the center. I will do the same for January, and everything is looking good. Now let me show you how these sheets work. So I'm going to delete everything I entered. I can duplicate the sheet and make this one February. And you can create March, April, and so on. So let's say your monthly salary is $1,500. And maybe you do some freelance that pays you $800. And your side hustle pays you $1,200. So these are all of your income for this month. Then electricity bills cost you $75. This is a necessity, so I will make it needs. Then gas costs $250, which is also need. Maybe you bought a shoe for $200. This will be in the wants category because this is not a necessity. And then you save money to purchase your next TV, about $500. That will be savings. And maybe food costs $800 for the month, which is also necessary. So all of this other information will automatically be calculated, and you can see the percentage of your money going to all of the different categories. Maybe you can create some other data like the difference between goals and actual, or a pie chart to see a graphical representation. You can do all of that if you know your way around Google Sheet. So that's just the simple way of creating a budget tracker in Google Sheets. That's all for this video. You might want to check out other videos from the channel, and I will see you in the next one.